Laissez-les bon temps rouler.
Laissez le bon temps. Wait, say it again.
Laissez-les bon temps rouler.
Laissez le bon temps. Oh, I'm just gonna say, let the good times roll. Hey everybody, welcome to Mondays with Mark. I'm Mark, and this is Smokey, Steve, and Marc. Yes it is! Oh my gosh, welcome back. It is so great to see you. Hey, while I have your attention, please hit that notification bell, okay? You'll be the first to know when we have a video coming out, and please, if you'd be so kind, please hit that subscribe button, okay? Thank you so much. So, hey, how you doing? How was your weekend? I love Mondays with Mark. We just, we get the week started off on a great positive start, right? Okay. And you can tell I'm a little excited because today we're having a party. Oh, yeah. We're going to celebrate Mardi Gras. Oh, yes, we are. I have my notes ready. I have my beads ready. Now, some might say, Mark, it's a little too early for Mardi Gras, right? And some people told me, actually, I'm a little bit too late. Well, I guess both of that is true because really, when you think about it, Carnival or Mardi Gras season begins on January the 6th, or King's Day, otherwise known as the Feast of the Epiphany. And traditionally on that day, a king's cake is served, and bookmark that. We're going to come back to the king's cake. Oh, yes. And then it ends with Fat Tuesday, which, now that date changes every year because it's in direct relation to Easter. And of course, Easter is on a different Sunday every year. And Mardi Gras is the Tuesday before Ash Wednesday. And of course, Ash Wednesday leads up to Easter, So, but whatever the dates, however you want to celebrate it, we are in Carnival season right now, and I wanted to get a couple projects out to you so that you have plenty of time so you can make these for your own Mardi Gras celebration. And you know what? I think this year more than ever, it's a perfect excuse to celebrate and to have fun. We need as much fun as we can get right now, with so much going on in the world right now that's kind of negative. Let's do something fun. So I encourage you, have a little Mardi Gras party. You know what? One day, why don't you dress up, put a mask on, maybe make a king's cake. Who knows? Maybe some pan-fried catfish. However you want to celebrate it, this is a perfect opportunity to do it. Let's celebrate Mardi Gras, okay? And like I said, I have two projects for you that are really, really fun, really, really cool, all right? One of them was a DIY. The other one, we're going to head over into the kitchen. But first, I have all my notes ready here. I couldn't leave you hanging. I have to, fill you in, kind of get you in the know about Mardi Gras a little bit, right? So I wrote down some little points here that I wanted to, mention, things I thought might be interesting. Now, Mardi Gras is French for Fat Tuesday, and the name comes from, it's an ancient custom of where they would parade a fat ox through the streets of Paris. Now, the ox was, it was to remind people not to eat meat during Lent, essentially, is what it was. Now, the French people who came to the U.S. brought the customs of Mardi Gras with them, okay? Now, the most famous celebration of Mardi Gras, in the U.S., maybe even in the whole world, is New Orleans, of course. But Mardi Gras celebrations happen all over the world. Biloxi, Mississippi has a huge celebration. Rio de Janeiro, I wrote some down here. Nice in France, Belgium, Italy, just to name a few. Okay, we even have a little celebration right here in Scranton on Fat Tuesday too. So it's all the world over. Now, most of us most of us Mardi Gras customs are in the New Orleans variety, more modern, so to speak. Okay, and that would be like your masks and your costumes and the floats and the beads and the trinkets and the doubloons and everything. But the modern incarnation of Mardi Gras in the U.S. began actually in Mobile, Alabama. Okay, and that was in 1830, well before the first recorded Mardi Gras parade in New Orleans. That was in 1857. Now, although it's likely, although that, it was celebrated by French and Spanish Louisianians. Did I say that correctly? Louisianians. That's a tongue twister, huh? Before that date, because of their Catholic traditions, their customs, their Catholic customs. But even though there's a controversy in which city was actually first, neither formally makes this claim. Both cities kind of dance around the subject because, in fact, both have some bragging rights. It's come to be actually that it's not a competition at all, but rather like a cooperative effort between two buddies, so to speak. You know what I mean? And I think that's pretty cool. Of course, Carnival and Mardi Gras is celebrated long before Columbus was even a gleam in his father's eye, right? I mean, in fact, I just want to make sure I get the dates right here, but long before it was Christianized, it was actually a pagan celebration too. Now, historically, the first recorded celebration of Mardi Gras in what is now the U.S. Occurred in 1699 on a Mississippi River island, okay? The explorer who found this island and held this little celebration informally named the island Mardi Gras Island. Now, he then moved upriver and then kind of, scouted out what is now present-day New Orleans. Some people claim that, and make sure I get this right, okay? Gulfport, Mississippi was the real Mardi Gras island referred to by the explorer. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. Either way you look at it, whoever's right, whoever's wrong, Mardi Gras and Carnival is a time where there's food and fun and celebration. And we're going to do that today, right? It's a time for a colorful celebration. In fact, there's official colors to Mardi Gras, and they are purple, green, and gold. Purple representing justice, green representing faith, and gold representing power. And we're going to jump right to our first project since we're talking about colors. Now, today, of course, any color goes. Mardi Gras is just a colorful celebration. But those three colors are traditionally the official colors of Mardi Gras. You'll see beads in those colors, and I went and got my beads, and our first project is a DIY project, and it involves beads, of course. Now, I got my beads over at the dollar store, and some of them are plastic, some of them are glass. Any type of bead will work for this project. We're going to make Mardi Gras votive holders. Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh. So, all you need to make this project are, of course, beads in your choice of color, or you can stay real traditional and get the gold, green, and purple, or any color will do, right? And then you're going to need a votive cup like this, a simple one. Now, this project is also perfect for any type of jar, too. Like these tiny little dessert jars. These are little petit crèmes come in these from Brown Cow Desserts. I love these jars, and I'm so glad I saved them because, y'all, look how cool they turned out. Put a little votive in there. Oh, it's really, really cool. But I think any type of jar, this is a wee yogurt jar, and even an entire vase could be covered with beads. And how festive and how colorful is that, right? I have another one here. Here's the wee. This is the wee jar. Pretty cool, huh? All right. I have another one up there. No, that's it. Okay. So let me put these aside. We'll use a regular votive here for our demonstration, okay? And I'll move this out of the way. So you'll need those two items, and then you'll need your handy-dandy glue gun. Oh, yeah. Check this out. Check out how easy this is, all right? So I'm going to move you down, okay? Like the sound effects? Okay, so we have our votive jar, and let's see, we will start, let's just start with these here, okay? And we're going to snip our beads. So we have one long string, just like so. Okay, now, y'all, it is as easy as this. We're going to start at the top, and I'll tell you why later, on the side of the votive jar, and just put a little dollop to start with, okay? Just enough for like 1 or 2 beads. Then we're going to put our beads on it like so, okay? Doing this upside down, y'all. This is, okay. So, and then we're going to hold it there for 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And my finger's stuck. No, I'm just kidding. It's not. Okay, so we just want to kind of mount it there, okay? And from this point on, it is as simple as gluing the rest of the beads all the way around. And I usually do half, half of the circumference at a time. Holding on. Now, your first row will be, I mean, the hardest, I guess, if you want to consider it hard, because you're kind of, setting the stage for the rest of the rows to go down, right? But really, you just hold it on there for about 5 seconds and you're good to go. So we're just going to go, I'm just going to be wild and crazy here, and I'm going to go all the way around. Whoops, got to push my glue down. There we go. All the way around to the end here. Okay. Pop it up there like that. Hold it in place. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, you get the idea. All right, so now at this point, we're just going to take our scissors and we're going to snip that off. Let's see, right there like that, and push him back up there. Okay. All right, so we have our first row all the way around. And now you have a choice to make. You could make your votive be all the same color all the way around, all the way down, or we can alternate colors. I kind of like the rainbow look on them. Now, this next part, it even becomes easier. Start with your little dollop again. Put the next strand on there that you want. And this time, if you want, try to get it in between the 2 beads there, make them a little close there, okay? Like so. Okay. And then we're just going to continue all the way around again and again and again, okay, until you have your whole votive covered, just like this. It's so simple, and it takes literally 10 minutes to make a whole one just like this. So cool. All right, now I'm going to show you. I have one started here with different beads. See, they have little masks on them. I think that's going to look cool when it's done. And this is the wee jar there, and this is the little dessert jar right there. Now, I started at the top because sometimes the bottoms have a rounded bottom, and I like them to sit up off of the ground just a little bit there, right? Now, if we had started at the bottom and went all the way to the top, we might not have enough space. So that's why we start at the top and go to the bottom. All right? And we're back. Okay. Try to center it there. Okay, cool. So what do you think, y'all? You like them? I think they're really, really cool. I love this craft. You know me, I love quick and easy crafts that make an impact. And I really think these do. These look really nice. A little bit later, I'll put some candles in it at the end. We'll have a big reveal of everything. But that is your Mardi Gras DIY for today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you try it because it's super fun and super easy. All right? So, I said we have 2 projects, right? What would Mardi Gras be without a king cake? Right now, this is traditionally like a brioche type of a cake. So it's like a sweet bread, okay? It's not a dense cake like you would get a vanilla or chocolate cake. This is more of a sweet bread, okay? And traditionally, I mean, today, I should say, now it's more like, you get them in all different flavors. Some of them have fillings of cream cheese and strawberries. Some of them have cinnamon in them. Some have nutmeg. Traditionally, it didn't even have a filling, years ago, it didn't even have a filling. It was just a sweet bread with some icing on it. More importantly, were the colors depicted in it. That would be the purple, gold, and green. And that's usually done by colored sugars being on top of it, to represent the three colors. Sometimes the bread had had dried fruit in it or candied fruit in it, and sometimes it had nothing. Today, I'm going to share with you my recipe for king's cake. Now, this recipe is really old. I learned how to make a traditional, like really old-fashioned king cake when I was in pastry school. I kept that recipe and I made it through the years, changing this, changing that, making it a little more quicker. It can take up to 6 hours to make a proper king's cake. Who has time like that, right? So I adapted a little bit to what the recipe is today, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. All right. So I think I might get changed. We'll head over into the kitchen and let's make a king's cake. All right. Ahem. Oh, pardon me. I'm just trying to get into the spirit of things, okay? Come on in. Come on in. All right. And of course, playing with my new lights. I love them. All right, enough. Let's get right to it. White. Bam. Nice. Cool. All right. So we are going to make a king cake today. Are you ready? Have your pencil and paper ready? Because I'm going to go over the ingredients right now, okay? So, for this recipe, you will need 4 cups of flour. You'll need 1.5 packages of rapid rise yeast, 1 cup of milk, 1/3 of a cup of sugar, a teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of orange zest, a half a teaspoon of nutmeg, 2 large eggs, 6 tablespoons of butter that is softened. And then in addition to that, you're going to need a few more ingredients for the filling and the icing. But you know what? We'll get to that later, okay? In addition to all of this, you'll also need some sanding sugar in the traditional colors of Mardi Gras, which is purple, gold, and green. Just like so. Now, sometimes purple can be hard to find, and you may not have colored sugars, but it's very, very simple to do. Just get yourself some coarse sugar, or you could use regular sugar too, and some food coloring, and toss the two in a Ziploc bag and shake it up until you have your desired color. It's as simple as that, y'all. Just like this. I made my very own purple sugar doing that. Pretty cool, huh? And then you will need the baby. Now, we'll talk a little bit more about the baby later that we're going to put in the king cake. But I got these on Amazon. They were $5 for this whole big bag. And of course, I only need one. But I have never seen a baby with that much hair in all my life. It's almost creepy, isn't it? I think Bandit thinks so too. Yeah, right? All right.
There is something kind of unholy about it.
So let's get started. Okay, so let's get to... All right, so this is how we start. Over here on top of the stove, I have my milk, my sugar, and my salt in a small saucepan, and I warmed it up under low heat until it is about 120 to 130 degrees, and I tempted. It's good and everything. You don't want it to be too hot, like real hot to the touch, because it will not it'll kill your yeast, really. And then if it's too cold, it won't activate your yeast. So you want to get that sweet spot there, between 120 and 130, okay? All right, so that's ready to go. You could also do this in the microwave if you want to save time, but I'd recommend doing it on 15-second intervals until you reach that temperature, Come over here. Over in our stand mixer, I have 2 cups of flour. All right, to that, I'm going to add our yeast. We're going to reserve the rest of the flour for later, and then move this out a little, and then we're just going to mix it up on low until it's just nice and incorporated there, okay? And that's pretty good, all right? Now, we're going to add our liquid to our flour. And you do this just by adding it slowly in while it's running. There's no, real secret to this or anything. I just wouldn't add it all at one time, okay? Just like so. Perfect, that's what we want. Our liquid to be steaming a little bit and all of our sugar is dissolved. All right, perfect. Okay, now we're gonna let that mix up. Let me grab a spatula here. Okay, we're gonna let that mix up a little bit until it's fully incorporated. Perfect. Okay, so now we're going to add our orange zest right to it, just like so. And then we're going to add our nutmeg. Nutmeg, ooh, just love it. Half a teaspoon or so there. Perfect. Okay, and let that mix up a little bit. Now at this point, stop it, you know, give it a little scrape. You want to give it, you know, always give it a little scrape every once in a while there, okay? All right, perfect. Okay, so now we're going to add our eggs one at a time, all right? Just add it right to it. There's one. And let it fully incorporate after each egg is put in there. This could take a minute because, you know, we are doing it on slow like this, you know what I'm saying? But you just want to make sure that it gets incorporated. Here, we'll turn it up one. There it goes. All right, so there's one, and then we're going to add our second egg in there too. What we're looking for is kind of like a shaggy dough to form, okay? All right. That's good. So we have a nice, loose, kind of shaggy dough, so to speak, there, all right? That's what we're looking for. At this point, we are going to take off our paddle attachment here, give it a good scrape, get all that goodness in there. We don't want to lose any of that, okay? We're going to get all that off of there, and we're going to switch our paddle to our dough hook, which is that, if you don't know. And at this point, make sure you do that scraping again, okay? Make sure you get that all up in there and mixed, all right? All right, so we're going to put our dough hook in. Now, you could also do this by hand, of course, but this next part, you know, using a dough hook is going to save your arms, let me tell you, okay? So we have our dough hook in, and we have our speed on low, all right? And now we're going to add the remainder of our flour. That should be about 2 cups remaining. Just a little bit at a time. Say, I don't know, about 1/3 of a cup at a time, okay? Until you have a nice soft dough form, okay? All right. Okay, that's about right. We have a soft dough going there. And that took about 1 3/4 cup of flour. Now, at this point, we are on low. Yeah, we're on low. So what we're going to do is we're going to add our butter, all right? 1 little piece at a time, all right? And then you're going to allow that, like each piece of that, to absorb completely before you add your next piece of butter, okay? So, you know, you can turn that up a tad bit there, okay, like that. So what we're looking for is a nice soft dough that doesn't stick to the sides at all, okay? Now, you find your dough is a little bit too wet, just add a little bit of flour, just a little bit at a time. Say, I don't know, a tablespoon at a time, right? You think your dough might be too dry? Just spritz it with a little bit of water, a little bit at a time too. It's very forgiving, and you can absolutely do that. So, let me get that dough ready. You know what? After we add all the butter, and you know we got about 12 pieces to do here, so this is going to take a couple minutes. After that, you're going to allow it to knead for 8 minutes, okay? All right, let's get to it. Okay, so we have let our dough, we allowed our dough to knead for about 8 minutes, and it looks just like that. Perfect, right? Nice soft dough, ready to go here. It doesn't stick to the sides of the bowl. Awesome. So then I turned it out onto a floured surface. Then I formed it into a ball, and I put it in a greased bowl. Then I flipped the dough over so the greasing part is like kind of on top of the dough, you know? And then we're going to get a dish towel, cover it up, and we're going to refrigerate it for 1 hour. Now, we are using rapid rise yeast in this dough, okay? So this kind of eliminates that double rise time. I mean, sometimes that can take 4 or 5 hours sometimes. The first rise is typically 2 to 3 hours. The second rise is like an hour, 2 hours. But with this recipe, we're going to chill our dough, and then we're going to allow it to rise later. Oh yeah, eliminating that time-consuming double rise, right? All right, so we have an hour. Let's make the filling, okay? All right. Now we're gonna talk filling. Oh yeah, y'all, this is so easy, let me tell you. So, we are gonna make a filling for our king cake, and it consists of 4 ingredients, and it's so easy. Just remember, 4, 1, 1, 1. So, what you need are 4 tablespoons of softened butter. Then you're gonna need 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of grated orange zest, okay? And then you're also going to need 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. Although I like cinnamon, so I added a whole tablespoon to mine. It's up to you, okay? Put it all in a bowl and mix it up just like so, okay? That's it. That's the filling, and we're done. Now, also part of the filling, okay, is the baby. Okay, so when you're at a Mardi Gras celebration, everybody wants to know who got the slice of cake with the baby in it, right? But what does it mean if you get the baby in your slice of cake? Well, tradition dictates that if you get the baby in your slice of cake, it says that you're going to have good luck and prosperity in the new year. It also says that that person is going to be king or queen of the evening. It also says that that person is responsible for making or purchasing next year's king's cake. Pretty cool, huh? Now, if you don't have a baby, tradition also dictates that you can substitute the little baby with a bean of some sort. Either way you do it, it's pretty cool, huh? Everybody wants to know who's gonna get the cake with the baby in it. Oh, I hope it's me. And we're back. All right, so our dough was all chilled, and as you can see, I turned it out onto a floured surface, and I rolled it out to approximately 10 inches by 20 inches in a rectangle like that. Oh, it looks so good. Now, always have some flour on hand, too, because the dough can get a little sticky sometimes, and this will be your best friend, all right? And I think, we're ready to go. All right, so now we're going to take that yummy filling. We'll put this over here, and we're going to put it on half of our dough here, okay? And we're going to do it half on the long end, okay? Not the short end, okay? Just like so. And you can use as much of it or as little of it as you want. Try to leave a tiny little border on the top and the bottom because we're going to be, ultimately, we're going to be pinching this all together. But, I'll explain that more in a little bit. I think this is good. And now let's get all this yummy goodness in there. Yummy goodness. Okay, that's pretty good. All right. So now at this point, we're going to fold it in half, all right? Just rip it up, bring it over like that. Kind of like you're making a calzone in a way. All right, there we go. All right, and now we're going to push down firmly. Don't be afraid of it. Take out your frustrations. Just like so. Okay, perfect. Okay, that's good. I enjoyed it. Okay. All right. So now we have it like this. All right. So now what we're going to do is cut it into 3 strips. Pizza cutter. Yeah, use it. Definitely. So let's see. They don't have to be perfect, but let's see. 1. I think that's about good. Well, that's a little bigger. Okay. I could get real OCD about this. All right. So we're going to go 1. And 2, and now we have 3 strips, okay? Now at this point, what you want to do is make sure that you seal the edges as best as you can, okay? And we're just going to kind of go along all the edges like so. Now, what this is going to do is we're trying to limit the amount of spillage we have, or shall I say leakage we have whenever we bake it. Now, we're still going to have some leakage, of course, but we're just going to try to limit that as much as we can. All right. All right, so that's perfect. Now give it a push together. Like so. Okay, and now we're going to take our 3 pieces And we're going to seal them together at the top, like this. Just grab it and just whoosh, make the sound effect. Whoosh. Make sure they're squeezed together pretty good, okay? We're going to go back and redo this later, so it's, not terribly important to get that together. All right. So now, the fun part. Kind of squish it together a little bit there. Have fun doing this, okay? And we're going to braid it, all right? Over, like so. Wow, this is hard to do sideways. I got to do it like this. Oh, my goodness. Well, anyway, you get the picture. All right. I'll go there. And then we're going to pinch this a little bit like that. Spin this baby around. Give it a squeeze. All right, now we're going to top that. And pinch it underneath. There we go. Ooh, this looks nice. Okay, now this should rise pretty good. Perfect. All right. And that's okay. I like it. Yeah. Okay, pretty cool. All right, now at this point, we're going to transfer it over to a baking pan, which we have lined with some parchment paper, okay? Now, we're going to cover it up, maybe with a dish towel or some plastic wrap, and we're going to let it rise until it doubles in size. That can be anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour, okay? Just kind of watch that it is about twice the size that it is. If yours is a little bit too small and you're worrying about the opening in the center, just grab a glass jar or an old soup can that's empty and put it in the center of it, too. That'll keep it from, expanding and closing that, because you want it to be a ring. It is a ring after all, okay? But if it's this big, you don't even have to worry about it. You will be totally fine, all right? So transfer it to a baking pan, parchment paper, let it rise for about a half hour to an hour until it's doubled in size. Then we're going to bake it in a 350-degree oven for 20 to 30 minutes. Now, I know 10 minutes, that's a long time to debate there, but a lot depends on, your oven. All ovens are different. The moisture content, how much flour you use, the type of flour, and so on and so on and so on. But what we're looking for is a nice golden brown crust, and that will take anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes, okay? Just eyeball it in the last 5 or 10 minutes, all right? All right, we'll see you when it's all done. Hey, it's out of the oven and it's all ready to go. Okay, but first we're going to recap, all right? So, rewind a little. Now, in my experience today, it took me, for it to double in size, it took exactly 40 minutes. That's pretty cool, not the hour. And you can bet I put that biatch right in the oven. That brioche right in the oven. Yeah, I didn't wait the whole hour because it was doubled in size right at 40 minutes. Then, when we baked it, it took exactly 28 minutes to get this nice golden brown color. Look, I'm happy with it. Yeah, I am. It's a little big, right? It's a little wide on this side, a little short on this side, but you know what? I'm happy with it. Sometimes when you do things in real time like this for a video, it gets a little... Well, you may have a lopsided king's cake, but you're going to take your time doing it, right? Either way, I'm happy with it, and we're going to be covering it with icing anyway. So, did you get any leakage? Any leakage out there? Oh, these are so good to eat. Oh my goodness. All right, as you probably found out, it just falls right off. No big deal at all. All right? So, now what we're going to do is hide our little demon baby, okay? All right, it's not a demon baby, but God, that hair, what the heck? All right, so just pick a place anywhere in it that you want. I'm going to do a thick part here, and we are just going to find a little crevice, and we're going to push it right up in there, okay? And he's hidden. Who's going to get him? I don't know. All right, for the icing, we need a few ingredients, okay? Just remember, 2-2-1-1-1. We're going to need 2 cups of powdered sugar. And you're going to need 2 tablespoons, about 2 tablespoons of milk. And we have 1 teaspoon of grated lemon zest. Oh, yeah. And then we also have 1 tablespoon of melted butter and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Now, it's as simple as combining all the ingredients. Just going to put a little bit in there. There's our vanilla. Add our butter. And then what I like to do is add milk as I'm doing it. So I'm going to put just a splash in there, maybe a tablespoon or so. And we're going to just start whisking until we get a nice icing, okay? And you'll add more milk as you need it. Okay, add a little more there. Go. And then you just continue to do this until you have the desired consistency that you want of an icing. Now we want it to be runny, but not too thin. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm getting sugar everywhere. All right, add a little more there. Okay, and so on and so on and so on and so on. Okay, ooh, that's perfect. Yep, that's exactly what we're looking for. Okay, now at this point, we're going to put it on top of our cake here. And you could brush it on if you want. You could pour it on or use a spoon, however you want to do it. I like a lot of frosting on mine. But what's important is that you add your colored sugars pretty much as soon as you add your frosting to it, because it will harden. There we go. See? There's the purple there. And then we're going to continue this all the way around until we have our whole cake covered in this gooey, yummy, sweet icing. Oh yes, and we are ready to party. Oh yeah. Okay, all right, enough. But you know what? I am happy how it turned out. Look, check it out. Put some beads in the center of there. It looks really, really nice. I'm happy how it turned out. I know I'm a little hard on myself. It's not exactly even or whatever, but you're going to take your time making it, and yours is going to be absolutely perfect. Yes, it will. All right. And how about the votives? Nice, huh? Let's see. Check it out. Very nice, huh? Yeah, I like it. Well, that's all I got for you today, folks. I hope you had as much fun as I did. I really did. And more importantly, I hope you take this opportunity to maybe hold a little celebration yourself, if even by yourself. Who says you have to have a big crowd to have a good time, right? I didn't. Steve was off today. I did this while he did some of the filming. Gotta give him some of the credit, right? No, we had a really good time. I really hope you did too. Thanks everybody so much for watching. You know what? I can't thank you enough, really. Remember to check us out on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc. I will definitely post these projects over there so you can print them out, do them yourself. We're also on the Twitter and Instagram. All of our contact information is listed right below. That's our P.O. box and our email address. If you have any questions on anything we did today, just shoot me an email and I'll get right back to you, okay? Thanks, everyone. Look, you have a great, great week, all right? And I will see you next week. And remember, everybody, laissez les bon temps rouler. All right, that's the best I can do, all right? See you next time, everybody. Ciao.